Greetings, everyone. Greetings, my followers, my family, the family of Ozochukwu ancient family. Greetings from here. Today is Orie. My greetings from here to the deities of our ancestors and to everywhere that we are standing on today. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about the reason why it's necessary, why it's important for people to communicate with the ancestral forces of their lineage. Many people misunderstand the word prayer. Let me just put it that way, even though it's not my language, but that is the only way I can explain what I can. It can be easy for people to understand what I want to talk about. For people who are following me, and most times they say they don't know how to communicate with their ancestors, I believe that you will be able to see this video today so that you will know the importance of communicating with your ancestors, with the ancestral forces of your lineage, with the existence of your spirit deity. Now, assuming someone, for instance, is looking for you. Now, you want to come and see me, or maybe I want to come and see you, or we want to embark on a journey. Remember, we are going wherever we are going with address that has been given to us, which will make it easy for us to locate our destination. Now, assuming someone is bringing anything to us, the person is going through our name, and everybody answer the name of their ancestors. You call your name and your ancestral name as a family name, and then these are the way people get to you. These are the way people locate you. This is the way people locate where you are. If you are somewhere and someone is looking for you, they will be asking about your name and the address, which is how to get to your location. English is not my language, but I'm trying to use English because of my followers, people who do not understand English. Now, if you want to make your prayer, I think it's just wise for us to understand that if you want to make your prayer, you make your prayer according to your communication with the ancestral representative of your supreme being, of who you are. Assuming you want someone to go and get something for you, you are calling the person by his name and you are paying for the services, and the person will go and do what you want the person to do for you. Now, when you want to pray, it's very important to understand that you communicate with your ancestors, those people that you represent. If anything happened to you, there is a place where it's called your home. You will be taken to your home, to your village, to your final destination. The final destination is also your beginning. That is where you started, and that is where you are going to end. So now, if you are requesting something from your God, if you are requesting something from your ancestors, and then you do not communicate with those people who know about you, you do not, like, when I need something, I will go to my father and I will tell my father this is what I need, and I need his assistance as a father. If my father do not have, my father will know how to look for means, or my mother, for them to help me to achieve what I'm looking for. So now, if you are not communicating with them, you are not relating with them, you are not passing the information about your life to the people who represent you in the spiritual world, it's as if that when you go to a gathering and you pray and you come back and what is happening will keep happening, because there are processes of everything. Just like you slap someone, and then to reconcile with the person or to appease the person's heart, you will go to a gathering and you start praying for forgiveness. Why? You need to go and practicalize what it means to ask someone for forgiveness. This is how it is in the spirit. If you are communicating, you need to call your father, your mother, the people who represent you. They are the one who knows about you. They are the one who have all the information about you. Now you involve the spirit of nature when you say Ani, which is Afo, which is the land. You involve the spirit of nature, Olisa. You involve the spirit of the wings, which is Nkwa. You involve the spirit of the four elements of nature, which controls the existence of the world. You pay homage to the spirit, to the things that you see practically, that these are the real truth, that these things, they represent something, that this thing, if actually the land exists and there is a land where I come from, it is just wise for me to get a kola, because when I have a kola, it is a symbol that represents that I have involved. Whenever I raise a kola, it's a sacred seed which represents the spirit of our ancestors. This is the reason why it is very necessary and important for people to communicate communicate with their ancestors. If you don't relate with your ancestors, if you don't relate with your ancestral spirits, it will look as if everything you are doing, you are not just getting it right. Because if your father or your mother is alive, if anything happens to you, they will come to your rescue. So when they are in the spirit world and you want to communicate with them, you also start from communicating with those people who represent you spiritually. They were on earth. They represented you on earth. If anything happened to you, they are the ones that will come to your rescue. If you give them information about yourself, they will also utilize the information in a way they will always know about you, and they will always know when to come to your aid. It is very difficult for someone who relates with his ancestors to have some kind of challenges that people who do not understand themselves experience. Like when they say ofeke, as na atolo mana tokwado ofeke ofe ishi n'ofia. N'obisi karaka nebu ogidi. It is only the person who have decided to actually find out the reason why he represents the spirit of leopard that can understand and engage his activities in relating with who or he or she is. So today I'm explaining to all my followers about the importance and the need of relating with your ancestral forces. Relating with your ancestral forces will help them to always know the location where their lineage seed is. Wherever you are, ndị Igbo si na ebe onye nọ ka chi ya nọ. Wherever you are, that is where your chi is, your God. That is where your God is. So it means wherever you are, the ancestral spirit that represents you, the ancestral spirit that you represent, they should also be aware that this is where you are. Why they know where you are? You should also always show that you actually communicate with them, giving them information about every present happenings in your life. Constant communicating with your ancestors will reduce a lot of burden that many people thought it was a kind of maybe attack that has been against them from someone. So when you start relating with your ancestors, you will see that there are so many things that will be lifted out of your body. First of all, you will start having peace of mind. Relating with your ancestors, relating with your forces. When I talk about your ancestral forces, I mean your ezumezu. When I talk about your ezumezu, we have your chiwa, your God incarnate, or the person that come back to life through you, who represent you spiritually, that you need to actually activate the energy so that you can always walk in line with this person. so that this person can always know what is happening in your life and respond with positive winning, with positive answers to you. So there are stages and there are ways that we activate these forces. When we keep these forces out of our life, when we stay away from them, then we also stay away from us, because they will not know what is happening in our life, even though they know, because we are not doing anything, because we are not paying attention to them, because we are not offering anything for them to have the strength, the energy in order to assist us physically. They will not be able to do anything because they are weak spiritually. These are the reason why when you constantly engage in communicating with your ancestral forces in yourself, they will start helping you through what you are doing for a living, to provide means for, because they know that okay, you need a cola. So but we should know it's not about money, it is about understanding that this is the true way of communicating with who we are. So the spirit of who we are will now be activated in us. So the spirit of who we are, we now know every steps of our lives. So the spirit of who we are, we pass information to our ancestors from our father side, from our mother side. We now relate to the both forces who brought us to existence. Because we communicate with them, they will not allow us to be put to shame. It's not as if challenges will not come, but they will help in preventing a lot of things. These are the reason why when you engage in communicating with your ancestors, you will start having a kind of messages through dreams. Even when you have not gone for consultation, they can pass a message to you, a dream. This dream may be the answer or the interpretation of everything that you have been seeking for or seeking answers for. So it is important for every one of us to understand the necessity of engaging our forces. First of all, we have Nzo. This is white chalk. It is important that we have white chalk in order to communicate with our forces, because this is the practical way of our lives. These are the reason where some people have temptations, it will push them to the floor, because we have not, because we feel so ashamed to do the needful. So because of being ashamed, we will perish for nothing. Asị na onye ji aka ya gbuo onwe ya na ndị mmụọ bụrụ ya abụ. When you are using a white chalk to communicate with your ancestors, remember white chalk represents light. Remember white chalk represents Eke, the sun. Remember that every good thing also have negative aspects. When you love the light, but you cannot put your hand in the electric wire. This is the reason why in Ordinala we say, he who wants our head will perish with his or her own head. Because when you are using this white chalk, you are now understanding that if there is any war in any place and you have Nzo white chalk in your hand to that place, which signifies peace, you will not be harmed. Which means that you using white chalk automatically means you need to make peace with both man and both spirit. Which means you totally need to forgive everyone who have wronged you. Because sometimes when you have anger in you against someone, even though the person did something wrong against you truthfully, but you have the anger in you, the anger may be affecting you negatively in a way that you may not even know. It's not about pretending that you are forgiving these people. This is the same way that you make peace with people who you have wronged, those ones you cannot see. Hence you have raised your white chalk and you say you make peace between man and spirit. You free your mind, because when you free your mind, the peace will now come in. The spirit of those people that you represent physically, that will now come into you. They will be guiding you. When someone wants to fall down, he will say, Nname, my father. So the spirit of my father and the spirit of those people who my father comes through, they will now come in peace and represent and help and guide us. So we use white chalk to communicate with our spirit. Our spirits are deities. So we use white chalk to resurrect the positive aspect of our existence. If you are listening to me, I advise you to go and get white chalk. And it is important that every morning, especially when you are a man, that you use your white chalk and communicate with your ancestral forces, and communicate with the God of nature, and communicate with the spirit of life. Using this white chalk will help to review so many mysteries, which are the dreams you have had since you were small, and you need answers to them you may not even know. There are stages of using white chalk. White chalk is a mystery, because the more you continuously use it, the more it reveals what it is to you. It reveals the spirit of our ancestors and the spirit of nature to you. Now, it is necessary for us to have Odo. This is Odo. Odo represents peace. I always encourage my followers to have Onzo and Odo. This is Odo. This is one of the items that we need when we want to communicate with the spirit of nature. Remember, I have talked about white chalk Onzo. Now, when you are using Odo, Odo is mainly for peace and appeasing the spirit of Umuada as well. So it's necessary and important that whenever you are using white chalk, that you also have Odo. In my videos, I'm going to explain some of the importance of having Odo, especially those people who have children. There are some times that you may be with someone in the night and the person will start having an attack, and you don't know what to do. You just go and get your white chalk and mark cycle around the person with Odo. And you begin to call the spirit of your ancestors to come and rescue this person. It is like a magic, but it's not magic. It is real. Now, we have Uye. In everything that we do in life, whenever we have our for we use rope to tie them together. This is Uye, Ufie. That is what my people call it. It's one of the items that we need for our communication with our ancestors. I don't know if everyone can see it, but even if you did not see it, I believe getting white chalk and Odo is going to be very, very easy for us. And this is our urge. As a man, it's necessary for you to, at least if you are far from where to get a cola, you can at least, while you use water and other things every day, you can at least once in a week break a cola for your ancestors. Because when you break a cola for your ancestors, it will help to open ways for you becoming the real person that you need to be. Women do not break cola for men. A woman can only break a cola for her chihuahua. Moya na chihuahua. Apart from that, I may not say much about woman breaking a cola for now, apart from a woman breaking a cola for her God incarnator. The reason I brought these things is because it's necessary for us to have these items in our house, especially this alligator pepper. Remember, when you go out on your daily activity, you associate with people, you communicate with people, you sit down in different places where other people have sat before. You go to club, or maybe you visit some places, you go to mortuary to see dead people, you go to burials, you go to ceremonies, you go to wedding, you go to different places where you have body communication with people, where you have body contact with people, where you touch people, where you shake people and everything. And this is how you transact with spirits. There are some times when you are walking on the road, you see people where they pour water across the road. Maybe they use it to wash their hands, or maybe people who are in the saloon, they wash people's hair and then now use it and pour across the road. You step on them, and there are some spiritual leaves and spiritual plants people do not step on. So when you go out on your daily activity, you communicate with a lot of things which you don't know the one that is positive and negative. There are people who may be standing up from having sex with their partner. They will just step out and come out on the without taking their bath, without cleansing themselves. So when they come and check you, they have transacted with you again. So if you are expecting something because of the communication with them, it can even make you to start having blockages in what you need to do, in what you are expected to say. So using alligator pepper to cleanse ourselves regularly is very important. It helps us to cleanse away negative contact that we have during the day when we do not understand ourselves. And if you have alligator pepper, remember that you open alligator pepper from your back. You open alligator pepper from your back. When you cross your two hands in your back, you open the alligator pepper to activate it. And then you can use one of these alligator pepper to cleanse all your body. After cleansing it, you use your right hand and turn anti-clockwise 4 times and throw it away with your left hand. Remember that when you cleanse yourself in the morning before you go out, it's also possible you can use one seed of alligator pepper and make declaration on how you want that day to be for you. When you come back, before you start touching things in your house, as a spiritual person, you should use one alligator pepper to cleanse all yourself before you start touching your children, to avoid them having to avoid you transferring the negative energy which you came back from because you have had contact with people. This is the reason why they say spiritual people have principles, because these things helps them a lot, so that when problem is coming, we will know the angle where it's coming from. So alligator pepper is important, that if you are a man, you can use 9 pieces and put in the water, and you use it and bat away negativities. And women use 7 pieces of it. Sometimes I use it in the morning and in the night, because when I go out, before I go out in the morning, I will use it to cleanse every negative things or contact I have had both through my dreams. And when I come back in the night, I will also do the same, so that if I'm sleeping, if I'm having any dream, the dream will be a direct message. There will be no blockages in my dreams because of the contact I have had with people, because I was not able to cleanse myself. Those things may cause distraction in my spirit world, and my forces will not be able to pass messages to me again. So I believe in this video we have understood that it's very important to have white chalk, odo, and alligator pepper. This is where we are starting from. I believe after watching this video, you will see the reason why we need to communicate with our ancestral forces. Like I said, communicating with your ancestral forces is going to help to take away so many things which you believe, which you have seen that maybe it is a juju or a charm. And communicating with your ancestral forces is going to help you to have a spiritual stamina. Thank you so much. Silangora ya rafoko mo lo di bocheta.